Welcome to the official Week 3 Bias Bettors podcast. This group of 6 people come to you with one collective goal: make you more money gambling. Each of us have committed to only following 7 teams and submitting picks on those 7 teams each week. Together, we'll have enough games to make you money, but alone, we'll be really good at the teams we follow. The 6 people who make up the Bias Bettors are on your screen now if you're joining on YouTube. On Spotify, it is Rams Ag, Dudley, CJ, PGZ, Double G, and HJ. Follow us to success this season. We will always post our record and always keep you informed. Speaking of record, jumping right in here to Week 3's podcast. Generally, we start with who's hot with a couple names. I just got to give a shout out to the whole group. Who's hot? The entire Bias Bettors are hot right now. So if you're not following us, you should. It's a perfect time to tail us or fade us, depending on what you believe. Last week, in week 2 of college football, the Bias Bettors went 8-4 against the spread. And in week 1 of the NFL, we also went 8-4 against the spread for a 16-8 record last week. Overall, in college football for the year, we are 22-14 against the spread. And overall, in picks straight up against the spread for football this season, we are 30-18. A great winning percentage. If anyone's been tailing us, they've been making plenty of money. One other shout out is the Double G TD parlay. Our followers absolutely loved it last week. Double G's coming to you with a 2-person TD parlay each week, trying to double your money. That easily hit. Travis Kelce and Derrick Henry was a no-doubter. And then we had one more TD pick in the NFL, Aaron Jones of the Vikings, when J.J. McCarthy finally pulled his head out of his butt in the fourth quarter. One of the touchdowns was him hitting Aaron Jones. So nice pick by HJ on that one.
Double G loves himself some TDs.
No doubt, Dudley.
A couple other segments that we're going to be running all year is on Fridays, we will be submitting our Blazing 5 picks, going head-to-head against Colin Cowherd on his show.
Fuck Colin Cowherd. Oh, there's one.
One down.
On his show, The Herd. Last week, we went 4-1 in our Blazing 5 compared to Colin Cowherd's 3-2, so we already got a leg up on Colin Cowherd there, which most of us do not like, so we'd like to take it to him this year. And then in college football, similar to the Blazing 5 from Colin Cowherd, Joel Klatt on his Friday college football show posts 5 picks against the spread. The Bias Bettors went 4-1 in our college football picks against the spread. Joel Klatt only went 3-2. So we're off to an early start in the season overall, and we're off to an early start against Joel Klatt and against Colin Cowherd. All right, jumping into individuals that are hot. I've got to give the floor to Bias Better CJ. Bias Better CJ had a phenomenal week. He dominated college football. He dominated the NFL, going 5-0 in the week. CJ, you have the floor.
I've been told the line of F words is 2.5. I'm going to keep it under because I got a few over betters. Yeah. Listen, I'm in right now. You're probably wondering, hey, Connor, where are you right now? I'm in Chicago. I'm on Soldier Field. I'm seeing the Bears in person. This is what the Bias Bettors do. We know our teams, and I was 5-0 the week. One got voided, thank God, because it got murdered. Minnesota played the worst team of all time, but yeah, Ohio State, Oregon, USC, bet a lot of points. Broncos, Vikings. Those were a lot closer. Overall, great week. Got a lot of good feels.
Thank you for letting us know where you are this week. We were all interested, CJ. We appreciate that. A little redemption story. Rams Ag went from the who's cold slide to the who's hot slide. Very nice week, Rams Ag. What do you got to say for yourself, young man?
Just had it pegged, had pretty easy lines, had plenty of cocktails on Saturday to keep it going. So let's keep it rolling into this week.
Also, there's a lot of murmurs. People are starting to say, hey, we should start betting on Boston College. And they're looking, hey, who knows Boston College? It's Rams Egg.
If you're not following Bias Better Rams Ag on Twitter, you are missing out. He is going after anyone and everyone. He's believed in Boston College from the letting people know it. We love it, Ramsag. Who's cold? We're coming off such a great week that this slide looks fairly blank. The only cold person is yours truly, Bias Better PGZ. I'll be honest, boys. This could have been a whole lot worse. I knew I had absolutely no feel. I only submitted 2 picks because of that. I liked a couple other games, one of which was Akron plus 33 at Nebraska. I did not. The final score of that game, I believe, was 68-0. So I would have been on the wrong side of that one, as well as a few others. I'm not ashamed of going 0-2. I would have been ashamed of going 0-5 or 0-6.
Hey, who asked for his tales of woe here? Just
Double G, what do you got?
this is this is my.
I have absolutely no idea for our YouTube followers where that came from. It's a picture of a normal white dude taking a crap.
The shirt's covering the ass too. I mean, that just cannot be a clean crap.
Honestly, where did that come from?
I think it's describing your picks last week, PGC.
I had absolutely no feel, but I got feel this week. So everyone's got to dial back in, Matt Adams included. Which takes us to every week we're doing a matchup of the week. Last week was Iowa State, Iowa. Ramsag and Dudley had it pegged well. This week it's a Super Bowl rematch. Actually, 2 of the last 3 Super Bowls have been these teams. It is a Double G team in the Kansas City Chiefs against a Bias Better PGZ team in the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to start with Double G. How do you feel about this game, being a big Chiefs fan? What are you betting on, and how do you feel?
Yeah, to be honest, don't feel great watching the Chiefs offense week 1. Not great. But the Eagles weren't that impressive as well. Expected tight game. Line's 1.5 right now. Chiefs are favored because they're at home. Uh, Clean stay away from me, to be honest. No idea what to expect. Don't love Sirianni on the road, but stay away from me. How about you, PGZ?
I cannot unsee what I saw in February. I am going to be riding the Eagles. I don't understand the line at all. They are by far the better team. I think the Chiefs and some bettors in Vegas are probably still giving Chiefs props for their name and their reputation the last few years. I see the Eagles dominating on the O line. I see the Eagles dominating on the D line, and this one not being all that close. I will say that, A.J. Brown's being a prima donna. There are some things going on in the Eagles locker room that you would not suspect of a really good ball club and a former champion. I also saw that the Eagles haven't lost a regular season or postseason game in which Jalen Hurts did not leave with injury in like 16 games. So I just cannot figure out. The only thing that worries me is when a line doesn't make sense, you usually go the other way. This line doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I'm definitely going to ride the Eagles no matter what it's at. It's fluctuated a little bit back and forth, but I'm going to take the Eagles.
It's fair. See how it plays out. Other thing you have riding in your favor is most games Tom Brady does are not close games. So I would say that would favor the Eagles as well on Sunday afternoon.
Well, and I will be seeing Grady's son, my nephew Wells, on Saturday, the day before this game. I may have gotten Wells an early birthday present that has to do with this matchup. I don't think his dad's going to be real happy about it.
You got it for him?
Bias Better HJ got it for him.
Well, I hope it's a Caesar Sportsbook gift card. That's what he's hoping for.
All right, jumping out of the matchup in the week and into your actual picks. Take us through some of your games and some of the lines you're looking at this week, Double G.
Yeah, just looking to try really to make it to the Who's Hot slides of the day, but luckily there's guys that have been better than me. 2-1 last week, 3-1 if you count the Brazil 50-plus yard field goal. I mean, was there a more electric play over the course of the weekend than the Chiefs shuttle bust for the 50-plus yarder? Probably not, but probably. So lots of lines here. Sneaky line, I would say, before my picks is the Notre Dame -6.5. Marcus Freeman, sneaky record coming off a bye at home, or off week at home, I guess I should say. So just be aware of that. But that is two ranked games, but it is absolutely huge for Notre Dame. Of the lines you see in front of you, I'm going to take the Jets +6.5 just because played well against the Steelers week one. They have the Bills, but they're at home now. We'll see if they can keep it tight. And then the Bears, the line has actually shifted to the Bears +6.5. And the stat I have is that week two, 0-1 teams matching up against each other. Underdog is 45, 26, and 3. So I'm going to take the Bears here, Ben Johnson revenge game. Double G TD parlay if you like doubling your money week after week. Here it is for you. Josh Jacobs touchdown, Lad McConkey touchdown, +285. One unit for you. All right.
I don't know a single person listening to this podcast that isn't going to be all in on that double G TD parlay after last week. Wisco at Bama. Any gut feel on that one? I know that's going to be a big game on Saturday for some Wisconsin fans. Any gut
Is the
feel?
over under set at 21?
It is not for the Wisco Bama game. Looking at their score against Middle Tennessee, they do have one of the toughest schedules in the league, just overall. Wisconsin does. I could see them, but trying to keep it close. But the Bama head coach really, his job's kind of on the line here. He needs to make a statement. So it was a stay away from me. I also personally follow the NFL a little bit more than college football, but I don't know if anyone else has anything to say.
Bill O'Brien's
No,
already had a job interview in Tuscaloosa, so
Bill O'Brien has. Well, is he going to fork up the $70 million to get Kalen DeBoer out of there? The one that I'll be interested in, how confident are you on Jets +6.5? Because I was listening to Colin Cowherd today, and I think the Bills -6.5 is going to be one of his plays. Are we going to be going head to head against Cowherd come Friday?
Maybe Sean McDermott and Josh Allen against divisional opponents on the road are about 500 all time. And then the Jets have put up good points this week so far. Maybe Justin Fields with this new offensive coordinator for the Jets has it figured out. And I feel like the Bills are emotionally riding a little high after winning a game they probably should have lost. So I'm going to go with the home dog.
I feel like that's a big feel play for me, and I think Jets money line is sprinkle a little bit on it. I think it's a good game. I like that bet.
I was thinking the over in that game.
Well, I don't think the words Jets money line have been said for a few years, maybe since the Mark Sanchez days. So Winkleman,
Weren't said by me.
Your field plays have been hot, though. We might have to ride with you on that. I'll go through mine pretty quick here. I am submitting a pick for the matchup of the week. Like I said, the line has been flip-flopping from Chiefs -1.5 to Eagles -1.5. I don't care what the line is. The Eagles are going to dominate that football game. I'm taking the Eagles. Michigan without their head coach, Sharon Moore. I'm still taking the Wolverines. They got publicly embarrassed by Oklahoma. They were getting trolled all over social media. I think they come out like a typical Michigan team and just beats up on an inferior opponent in Central Michigan. I think Michigan absolutely rolls. I think they have to win by more than 4 touchdowns for their fan base to be happy again. So I think they come out with a purpose and play well. And then the game that I actually feel maybe the best about is Commanders at Packers tomorrow night, Thursday night football. I like the Packers and the points. It's at home. The Packers are a really good team this year. Even if the Commanders lose by 7 or 10, I don't think that says anything about them. The thing I worry about is the Commanders have an old offensive line and an old defense. The Packers are really strong in both the offensive line and defensive line. I could see it going similar to Saquon Barkley and the Eagles in the NFC Championship. And by the third, fourth quarter, the O-line is just wearing on the Commanders' D-line. And Josh Jacob breaks a few deep runs, maybe some long touchdowns. So I really liked in your double G TD parlay when I noticed Josh Jacobs was in there. I think he definitely scores once, maybe multiple times. I love my Commanders, but I'm riding the Packers this week. I think the play is definitely Green Bay at home.
The one stat I just want to bring up before we move on is that Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love, over a 3-point favorite. Their record is not great. So just be careful. I know you're doing this kind of as a reverse jinx pick, and I respect you for that. Dudley kind of trademarked that in our group, but I don't know. We'll just see if Jaden Daniels has it.
In my college football matchup of the week, I'm going to wait to talk with Dudley a little bit about that one in his segment. We've got a game Friday night, Dudley's team, Kansas State, at the Arizona Wildcats down here in Tucson. But I'm going to save that one for Dudley's slide. So we're going to move on. We're going to go to one of the hottest guys in the group. He's still an absolute pile. He doesn't bring much to the table, but man, can he handicap a Big Ten game when he needs to. What do you got here, Winkleman, this week?
I don't know how to work a PowerPoint, but I know how to win fucking bets. That's two.
That's two.
Yeah, that's two. All right. I like a good chunk of the games here. I'm gonna make it quick as well. Minnesota at Cal. This is more of a lean. I like Minnesota. Two good quarterbacks. Two 2-0 teams. Again, I just feel like Minnesota's more traditional Big Ten. They're just going to prevail. Ohio and Ohio State. Ohio just played. They played Rutgers tough week one. I think it was like 34-31. Another tough game week two. Ohio. It's at Ohio State, obviously. I mean, it could be at Arkansas State, but it's at Ohio State. And Ohio State, I said 70-0 last week. Jeremiah Smith, 3 touchdowns, and it was 70-0. Jeremiah Smith, 2 touchdowns. I think Ohio State wins like 45-3. They cover. Purdue, this is another lean. USC's still unproven. They got a good young quarterback. A lot of weird upsets happen at Purdue. So I'm going to lean Purdue plus 20.5. I don't think they have a bad team either. They had a better coach. I don't know a lot there. So that's it's a very big lean. This is supposed to be Oregon minus 27.5. I said, I don't know how to work PowerPoint.
Do you know how to read a line? It's Oregon at Northwestern, and Northwestern is plus 27.
Yeah, but I'm choosing Oregon.
It's right there. Your pick's right under it.
Oh, my bad. I thought we laid them out as the picks you'd like. Oregon minus 27.5. That's an absolute lock. Drake at SDSU. I don't know what the line is. They've not released it, but the other one, or USC Purdue, that might be like a 40-25 game at minimum. I'm going to go over 59.5. They said it best. If it don't make sense, bet what don't make sense. And I don't think the 60 points makes sense. So I'm going to bet the over. Lastly, just real quick on the NFL, not a great feel for them. I'm going to go Vikings minus 3.5. That's a lean. Broncos Colts. I'm going to go the under. I don't know what the under is, but I'm going to go the under. It could be 25. I'm going to go the under.
Just to clarify one point I heard, you said Minnesota at Cal. You like Minnesota to play well going out to the West Coast. They're the more traditional Big Ten team. You do realize Cal is not in the Big Ten, right, CJ?
Yeah, that's why they're more traditional in the Big Ten.
I just wanted to make sure you realize they joined the ACC. Only other thing that I see on your slides is, as mentioned, Ohio State is hosting Ohio. Don't know a reputable Big Four program that would go to Ohio in week 3 of the season, but I'm sure it's happened before. We'll go through the archives and try and find that one. Right, Dudley? Dudley is not locked in. All right, we're jumping forward to Bias Better HJ. been horrible in college football, but was smoking hot in the NFL picks. Went 3-0. Everything was pretty easy. Didn't have to sweat any of them. What do you got this week, Bias Better HJ?
Yeah, I'll admit my college bets have been absolutely terrible.
Skip the college bets. Let's go to NFL.
I do want to talk about Arizona State, though, about their last second drive that they had, and they were on the 2-yard line?
1 yard.
1 yard line, couldn't punch it in 3 times. That would have been the cover right there, 6.5. But then they kicked a field goal and let them get a 75-yard touchdown off of a weak safety corner coverage. It was absolutely terrible. My son definitely learned some cuss words out of me that night. Then also I am looking at the locks. I definitely am going to ride the Bucks money line this week. I really think that that line makes no sense to me why the Texans would be favorited, besides that they're at home when the Texans looked awful against the Rams. What do you think, Rams AG? Didn't you think they looked pretty bad?
Well,
Everybody
Rams
looks
have
bad against the Rams.
God's team prevails again.
What a punch.
They didn't even score, did they?
They didn't have any touchdowns, right? 3 field goals.
Yeah, they barely moved the ball.
I just think the Bucks score tons of points. Baker's being Baker, and they're going to be too much for the Texans. So.
Bucks had to go on the road in week 1 and 2. That's kind of tough.
And then also I was the Minnesota over against the Bears. It was looking dead the first half. Then it came back to me either. Then it came back the second half and came alive and hit the over, which was awesome to have that. So I'm going to ride the over again. I think Atlanta will score more points than what the Bears did, and I think Minnesota really found their juju in the last half. I'm still not keen on JJ, but I hope he keeps still proving me wrong. What I saw in the last quarter, I'll take that. What I saw the 3 first quarters, I was like, holy crap, this is going to be a long season to watch this guy.
Did you think any of that was – I mean, the guy's had one good quarter, and all the shows this week act like he is just an MVP candidate and just going to be the absolute real deal. I think we got to see more than a quarter out of the guy.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that too, but not to lose confidence in yourself and come back and win and score 21 points in the fourth quarter. That obviously shows something about his demeanor when he plays.
What do you got, Dudley?
I mean, it was pretty impressive for the first game he's ever played in that he didn't know exactly what the defense was running the whole time. So
he also hasn't played a game in 2 years. So yeah, he's got to kick a little rust off the. He also has only lost 3 games in his career.
Yeah, but to Dudley's point, I mean, he had all the signs.
Yeah, I'm just saying the kid knows how to win.
It was
he knows
against
how to
the
hand
Bears.
the ball off to Blake Corum. That's what he knows how to do.
Yeah.
AG, I was thinking that too. I'm like, are we overrating all of this? They played the Bears. The Bears might be absolutely terrible this year.
Mark my words, Caleb Williams is traded after this season.
Oh, wow.
Or even mid-season.
Caleb Williams looked good, I think.
He looked good when it was scripted the first couple plays.
Connor's
Winkleman,
talking about
his fingernails?
his hairstyle and his fingertips.
Oh, yeah, Connor, I forgot you like the painted nails.
Okay. Here's what I like. I like a quick quarterback with their line's not great, but they're not bad. They got Ben Johnson. I hate overreactions on week 1. I think Caleb Williams is a good quarterback. He made a top 3 throw in the first week of college or of NFL football. I think he's good.
You know who hates Caleb Williams? Ben Johnson.
Oh, okay.
That coach rolls his eyes more than any other person I've ever seen at a player.
Ben Johnson, though, Connor, I mean, this is your team, but Ben Johnson, he threw himself under the bus. He said him fooled all night. He thought Flores would bring way more pressure, and he never adjusted to the lack of pressure he was getting. And then, he said, I should have had my kicker kick it out of bounds. Like, he owned some mistakes. So I think that's a good sign from a leader.
I wholeheartedly say it's full ownership, which you see rarely nowadays. I think they should have won the game. So I think if they're saying that, like, man, it was so bad, yeah, they're gonna be just fine.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I
got to
don't really
go
have
to yes
a
football to see that kind of leadership these days.
So what you're gonna want to watch is South Dakota State, Montana State.
Watch. Don't tune into this week's games. Go watch that replay of that epic
Go
battle from last week.
When you're watching FBS and you say, "Hey, should I be watching this?" The answer is no. Go to ESPN Plus. You're gonna have to buy it, $10 a month. FCS.
But it'll be worth it.
It'll
FCS.
be worth it. I'm just
I
kidding.
almost said this earlier. It was great to me that Double G will rip on Winkleman. He'll rip on Dudley. Quit talking about borderline terrible FBS programs. Quit talking about FCS programs. He starts his segment by talking about how electric a Chiefs field goal at the end of the first half was. Come on,
Yeah,
Double G.
the guy's a hypocrite.
Hey, whatever bets win, you gotta bring it to the light, you
When the
know?
double G parlay, touchdown parlay hits, you cannot argue against them.
I don't think these boys in this group have cheered harder for a Vikings player to score a touchdown than Monday Night Football. Adam Thielen came up short, but I don't think the Gallaghers have ever cheered for a Vikings player to score.
We do have to bring that up. Just an excellent segment brought to us by our very own HJ. It's called the Hail Mary Parlay. We're going to have at least a 5-leg player prop parlay every NFL Sunday. We were tracking to make every one of our followers huge money. And the guy that goes 5-0 this week against the spread simply cannot pick a player prop. Winkleman cost us a lot of money there. What do you have to say for yourself?
I got two things to say. One, we had 6 hours to make a pick, and Hannah's just riding my ass on saying, "Hey, you gotta fucking pick." Ah, shit. There's the over.
the over on F words hit.
Over.
Sorry, Tip G. Hannah's riding
You
me
just blow
saying,
it,
"You
blow it
gotta
out
pick
of your.
somebody.
You
You
just
gotta
blow
pick
it up
somebody."
and
I
say
said,
Adam Thielen. That's the best you could come up with. He had 5 touchdowns all last season.
secondly, I add value to these picks. You want to win even money? You do the double G TD parlay. You want to do a 5-leg parlay and win something? You gotta add Adam Thielen in there. That's what
Nah,
I do.
wink. The double GTD parlay is at least doubling your money,
Oh,
buddy.
sorry, double the money.
All right. Anything else from you this week, HJ? I see you got Cardinal.
Leans, yeah, Cardinals -6.5 is a lock against the Panthers. That's the one that I'm most confident in. I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Cardinals. When it comes to playoffs, I think they're a little shaky, but I think they've totally revamped their defense. Looked great. And then I think Marvin Harrison Jr. and Kyler Murray are just two locks together.
I tend to disagree. I think the best thing for the Arizona Cardinals is playing on the road. Every one of their home fans is an absolute hypocrite right now. They are against Kyler Murray. He can feel the tension when he's playing at home. I think Kyler Murray is going to play better on the road all year than he's going to do.
He wants to prove them wrong.
Did you just say Cardinal fans? Is that right?
Touche, Dudley.
Yeah, and then Jags. I know this is AG and I's matchup. I don't see the Bengals covering more than 3.5 against them. They didn't look great against the Browns.
Bad offensive
and
line.
Joe Burrow is getting absolutely assaulted and is probably going to have CTE by week 6.
Wasn't the Bengals one of your they won, I'll give you that. Wasn't that one of your preseason favorites?
Joe Burrow MVP was my bet preseason.
I might have some text.
Was it negative
Bengals
14
over.
yards? Negative 14 yards in the fourth quarter against the Browns.
Yeah, their offensive line is like me blocking people.
Hey, they won. I can't say much. Well,
Joe Burrow will be fine. When Myles Garrett is on the field, he turns into Sam Darnold. He will be fine other than the 2 games this year against the Browns. All right. Thank you, HJ, for your picks. Moving along. Let's move to Bias Better Dudley. Haven't heard much from the fellow, but man, can this guy handicap the Big 12. If you like to bet random Big 12 games and you're not following Bias Better Dudley, you're doing yourself a disservice. Dudley, what do you like this week and why?
So, the 2 teams I was super high on coming into the year were Kansas State and Clemson. and both have looked absolutely awful. So we're just doubling down. We're gonna figure it out week 3 if they're any good or not. So both teams are going on the road. I think K-State going on the road is going to be the best thing to ever happen to them. Or they're going to lose, and it is going to be maybe one of the funniest nights on Twitter I've ever seen because they might fire Kleiman that night. I K-State is head and shoulders better football team than Arizona is. If they get any type of pressure on Fafita, I think they're probably going to roll them.
So I follow Arizona Wildcats. Do we have to start taking them seriously at all if they win that game,
No.
Dudley? Okay.
This is either a K-State is very bad or Arizona's very bad game. I'm not going to feel great about either team winning this game.
What else you got? Clemson?
I also got Clemson -3.5 on the road at Georgia Tech. I just think I think Clemson's a top 5 team that had a horrible half against Troy last week. If they're as good as I think they are, they should be able to cover that 3.5 at Georgia Tech. And Texas Tech, I have -23.5 against Oregon State. Oregon State's kind of gotten boat race the last couple weeks. Their coach was dropping F-bombs on TV last week. I think I feel pretty good about Texas Tech kind of covering that 23.5, and that could be a huge ugly number. But that's kind of all I have. Quick stat on the K-State Army game. So K-State lost to Army last week. Can anybody guess how many minutes of possession K-State had in the second half?
Four
How
and a
long
half.
do they have the football?
4.5 minutes.
No, under that.
Under that?
2?
Under that.
How many?
3 minutes.
Wow.
A minute of that was on their final drive.
That's incredible.
And also, they had a kick return for a touchdown, went 3 and out. So they went 3 and out, kick return for a touchdown. Had a kick get smoked off their up back. That Kleiman was adamant that they were planning on an onside kick. The whole front line was completely turned around. So that's just a flat out lie. That program is an absolute disaster. I did not know how bad it was until I flipped on some podcasts today and was listening to their people talk. They are so pissed. And then that last drive, they had a minute before Avery Johnson just inevitably threw a pick again. So yeah, that was it. Army had the ball for that would be 27 minutes in the second half.
Hey, if you're not
Unreal.
feeling good about our troops here in the next few years, we got some smash mouth football players coming out protecting our country. So I feel really good after hearing those stats. And Double G, you had something on this slide. I know you see some games here that just don't make any sense. I saw you giggling. Do you have something to bring up to Dudley as you're looking at his games here?
No, nothing. I love the Kansas State picks. Let's keep them going.
Is Iowa State flying down to Arkansas, or are they taking a bus?
I don't know if there's an airport within 3 hours of Jonesboro. By the way, if you guys look, you have an SEC team playing at Temple on the same slide that nobody said anything about.
I know.
Wait,
I was filling out.
wait. I thought Iowa State's at Arkansas this week, right? That's a typo.
Arkansas State.
Look at his slide. Look at this slide. Iowa State at Arkansas State, Utah at Wyoming, Oklahoma at Temple. None of those make sense. Why are they scheduling these week 3 disaster road games?
It's like $5 million. Jamie Pollard was on the radio today talking about it. They saved $4 million doing a home and home. They'll do it again in 2 years. They play Bowling Green.
They sell alcohol in Jonesboro or not?
Jonesboro's a dry county. They don't sell alcohol anywhere.
Of course. Of course.
Wait.
All right. And then this week we tried saving our best for last. Other than Winkleman going 5-0, AG's 9-3 week is very impressive. One of his losses, actually 2 of his losses, were kind of long shot money lines. So really, the young kid went 9-1 and just absolutely had everything pegged. I see you don't have many picks this week, AG, but what do you feel good about?
It's a pretty slim line this week. If the 49ers Saints game. Purdy is out. I still think the 49ers will beat them. If it drops down to 2.5 or 2, I'll probably bet on the 49ers. They did get a new kicker. Finally, that other guy was horrible. Moody or whatever his name was. He almost cost us. And Madams might have disliked the video if that one would have lost. But in college, I think Iowa will cover. UMass might be the worst team in college football this year. I think they're only like a 2-point favorite against BV if they were to play each other. Is that correct, Dudley?
No, they would be favored by what were we? No, we were just looking up Albany. Albany, so who Iowa played week 1, would be a 2-point favorite over Dort.
Are you serious?
I looked up, so Buena Vista would be 140-point underdogs to Oregon. That's what I looked up. And I don't think that's enough.
So I'll take Iowa, UMass quarterback out and everything. And then the big game of the weekend, obviously, Boston College at Stanford, 10:30 start Central Time, Saturday night. Might be somewhere watching that game. We'll see.
Oh yeah, let's go.
But Stanford's terrible. Boston College also defense not very good, but the offense is pretty solid. They run some good stuff. You flip it over from the Iowa game to that game, it was completely different. But I'll take Boston College minus the 11 there. So it should say Stanford's plus 11. That's typo.
Okay, they're that big of a
Heart
favorite.
attack looking at that. I was like, there's no way Boston College is an 11-point dog.
Nope, Boston College is the favorite out of my picks. And then the Rams Titans, that game will be under 42. I think it opened at 45.5, so already down to 41. But I got it at 42. The Rams are missing offensive linemen, so I think they'll get ahead by like 10, and then they will quit trying on offense. And
41.5 right now.
Yeah, I got it at 42, but the Titans probably won't be able to score much against the Rams. So those are my picks this week. Lock into Bill O'Brien.
You've got me believing. That was a fun game to watch. BC got absolutely hosed by the officials, got unlucky, put up quite a fight at Michigan State. Now they've got to travel to the other side of the country and go to Stanford. That's a conference game, correct, AG?
Yep.
Man, that's a tough road trip for a conference game. That's almost like going to Arkansas State when you're a top 15 team in the country. But we want to thank everybody. We've had viewership on the rise. It's probably because we're putting out some pretty good content. We've got some great personalities, but it's probably because you people want to win money. So keep following us. Keep trying to win some money. Dudley, what do you got for some closing thoughts?
BV would be a 75-point underdog to UMass. That's my parting thought.
Wow.
I'd take the Beavers. Easy.
Money line.
So shout out to some of our fans. I want to shout out Lubby Ducky. He's been just loyal from the get-go, loves listening to our pod. Shout out Jace Modrell. Hey, who's your follower on Twitter that we have to give a shout out to?
I can't remember.
Charlie Park, is that his name?
Yeah.
Big Michigan fan. He's really been interested in the Thursday night football game. I'll have to tell Charlie that Michigan this week. Shout out to our other fans. Shout out to Jay Rowe. Thanks for tuning in. Tune in next week for more winning bets and see how we do. Thanks, everyone.
Like and subscribe.